Hey, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Catch That, where we dig deep into R&B music and talk about albums and eras and artists and anything we feel is important to let the people know. I am naturally Elise, and that's my bro.
JR.
And we are the R&B representers. And today we are welcoming back three-time guest?
Four.
Well, this is the fourth.
This is number four.
This is number four. Yes. Mr. Zoe. Hey.
What up? Though? I gotta say what up though, because yesterday was 3 on 3 day. So
yeah.
I love it. And you know, in case you've been under a rock, Zoe is a producer, multi-instrumentalist, just dope person.
Keep going. No.
Musical director and about 1,000 other different things, and he does all those things very well. And thank you for coming back to hang out with us.
Absolutely, no problem. It's always a pleasure to hang out with my folks, man.
Yes. So, J.R., Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Eager over there, Eager Beaver.
Oh yes.
Why don't you tell the folks what we're going to talk about today and a little bit of why we want to talk about it.
Okay, so as we said, Zoe has been on like 3 times already. He's damn near the third R&B rap for real. So honestly, we talked about Shalimar Friends with him. We talked about D'Angelo Voodoo. We talked about So Full of Love by the OJs. We talked about all that, and then when we got off that, Zoe was like, "Yo, I want to talk about something else." And we were like, "All right, what you want to talk about?" And we was like, "Let's talk about Chucky Thompson." Yes. So we was like, let's talk about the Faith album. And me and Elise was happy as hell. So we gonna get into this album. We gonna talk about it. We gonna say what we like, our favorites, all that good stuff. So when you first heard Faith, period, what did you think? What did you like about it? All that good stuff. So yes.
It was a nice switch up at the time, because at the time, everything coming out of Bad Boy was like hard drums. You got flavor in your ear with, that's Easy Mo B coming off the SP. So that's, rough, rugged drums. And you got Biggie, of course. He had Juicy and Big Papa, but he was more swinging toward the warnings and, Machine Gun Funk and, all that type of stuff. So, I mean, you had this sound coming from Bad Boy that was basically kind of crafted by Easy Mo B at the time, who was just on a tear between Craig Mack and Biggie and Busta, and he's hitting us over the head, and even the Lost Boys joints, the Lex Coops, Beamers and Benz. So it's like, you got like this rugged sound coming from New York, and Bad Boy then releases Faith, and it's like a total 180. It's, completely R&B. And, to me, it's kind of a nice follow-up, so to speak, from the My Life album, because I was listening to it now, in my 40s and as a musician, as an artist, rather than, back then. And, what was I, in my teens, and, just as a fan, like hearing it now, I'm able to kind of make connections. It's like, oh, okay, so the first track, they probably did that because, it was definitely a continuation from My Life. Like you have the notable sample. We all know that Puff liked to do this, and then a lot of R&B producers like to do this in the 90s, particularly like the mid to late 90s, where they would take a sample that was already made popular by a hip hop song, and then incorporate it and make it into R&B. Like that was a Bad Boy staple.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So they take the Isaac Hayes sample that Biggie already made popular with Warning.
Yep.
And that's how we gonna kick the album off. Outside of the interlude, of course, the intro, the Faith interlude. But and I feel like listening to it now, I'm like, oh, that's the bridge from 94's My Life to jumping into Faith, and kind of like, it almost makes it more comfortable, more palatable. It's like, oh, we like Black people like familiar. I know this, just from performing. And when you're not really known like that, it's like, we like familiar. And so that's why when you have cats, even well-known cats now who still perform, and they had one or two hits in the 90s, like they'll perform cover stuff for their sets because we like familiar. That's like that's how we incorporate our good time. You know what I mean? So bringing the fans in with familiar, with something that's familiar, with the Isaac Hayes sample, is like, oh, okay, now I get it. And then after that, they go into Falling in Love, which is Patrice Rushen, which is yeah, like we've talked about Patrice. Like, come on, man. Like, he is a living legend, a genius, prodigy on keys, just a ridiculous musical director, composer, who does not get the props that she deserves. She will forever get them from this corner of the music world. But like Falling, like, you can't go wrong with Remind Me. Can't go wrong.
No, you cannot.
Can't go wrong.
No,
and the same year, Junior Mafia had Remind Me for the Need You Tonight.
Need You Tonight, yep.
And then Faith is on that. Like,
right, yep. right. With Faith and Aaliyah, it's like, yo, like, so many different connections to where they really just kind of kept it in-house. It reminds me of, what we do with foreign exchange music, kind of like that, where we just kind of keep everything, within arm's reach. But yeah, like when I first heard Faith, like that side, it was kind of mind blowing, because I'm expecting Bad Boy to come with, more kind of rough, and then you hear this pretty voice just floating over, these tracks. And I mean, You Used to Love Me, like that's kind of on more, that's definitely more hip hop.
Yeah.
That's definitely more hip hop. So I mean, the first single was a good good choice because of that, and because our ear was already used to that. And here comes Bad Boy with another joint. It's like, okay, this is, we going kind of in the Mary J direction, but not as much. It's a little bit more polished.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Mary was more rugged. Faith was a little bit more polished. I think when the two of them come together, like it's lovely.
It's lovely. And then during that time, you got to think, like, he had, because I like how you said, Zoe, the fact that it was like Puff had hip hop he had about a neck, you know what I mean? And then Bad Boy comes out, and then it's like, you got Craig Mack, you got Big, but then you come out with Faith, We Used to Love Me, and then you come out with Total, Can't You See? So it was like still so hard, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was hard, and it got you. And it was like, oh, okay, this is coming out of this camp. So when you buy Faith's album and you come with the interlude, which that's our introduction to her, knowing that she's gospel, which I love how Chucky Thompson said that was the difference between the My Life and the Faith album. My Life was more soulful, Faith was gospel, because you can hear the chords that Chucky was playing on it. You knew, you know what I mean?
So even the patches, like in the beginning of Come Over, when, like, what's more gospel than a piano patch with a string behind it? You know what I'm saying? Like that's them, they call it for the offering. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was playing for offerings up in that mug. But definitely that's excellent. That's excellent.
That's what, you know what I mean? Like, it was
yeah, and maybe just, and I don't know if this is just me, but this whole album, it kind of has a haunting kind of thing. Like, it feels like the subject matter isn't dark, but it feels dark.
It does have a little cloud over it.
And there's nothing like really upbeat other than like two songs, and they still really are grooves, honestly.
Right.
And so it's like a darkness, even though the subject matter, even though most of it's not like, fuck love and all that. No, it's like happy love songs, a lot of them. So it's just weird.
Yeah.
And I wonder,
But it works.
I wonder if it feels like that because of what we knew, just what we know now in hindsight, as far as like, you know, what she may have been dealing with while recording the album, or, you know, what happened a couple years after the album, you know, you think that that's kind of like,
I don't know. It felt that way to me then, though. Like before knowing the context of her life at all.
But Chucky said even in an interview that the album took a shift. He was like, it took a shift because he was like, obviously the beginning, like falling in love and, you know, no other love and all this kind of stuff. It was kind of, you could tell she was in a new love. Like it was new, it was fresh. It was like, this is what I'm feeling. And he said, as soon as like Big went out on tour and he wasn't home, things started changing. You got the You Don't Understand, and
that's
you
the
got
one, yeah.
Don't Be Afraid, and you got all this kind of stuff. Like, you know, soon as I get home, and it was like all of this, he was like, it took a shift because he was like, yeah, it was all upbeat and everything was good. And then it was like, oh shit, Faye going through something right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like the way she was writing these songs, it was like, oh, okay, all right, okay, we going this way. Because like you said earlier, Elise, like when you was hitting me and you was back and forth about the My Life album, you was like, the My Life album is completely dark. Like this album is dark, but like y'all just said, Faith album have a little cloud over it. It's like, it ain't like a storm is coming, but it's like overcast to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
it's like a little, it's a little elephant. It's a little elephant in the room.
It's a little something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a little something in there that need to be addressed.
Yeah, like it's a little something there.
Yeah. Because even like Soon As I Get Home, like that's not as bright and sunny. That's not like a bright and sunny song. Like just you know, just feeling wise. Like I mean, Reasons and Soon As I Get Home that's my top two for the joint. For the album.
Okay.
Those are my Reasons and Soon As I Get Up, because like when I heard Soon As I Get Home, like that was
the way it come in.
Oh, come on, man.
It's the producer in y'all, because you know, Zoe, it's so many producers that have said Soon As I Get Home is their favorite Faith record.
Yeah.
Because it's something in the production of what Chucky was doing with that record. It's like they said it was something different. It was like, what is
and when you
this?
when you play it, like his chords are descending. Doom, 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 doom. Same with Tears Away. It's the same thing.
Oh no, you
not
didn't.
Not on this album. Not on this album. It was on Have Plenty, but like Tears Away might be my favorite Faith.
That's top 5 for me. I love that record. What?
That might be my favorite joint.
Jesus.
But same thing with Tears Away. Tears Away is the same. Like it's descending, just like Soon As I Get Home.
Yeah.
And Chucky was in his bag for real.
He said when they heard the record, because he said him and I forgot who did the record with him. God, I forgot what his name was. And he said they had that chord for the longest. Like, and he said they was in the studio and he played it for Faye, and Faye was like, wait, I like that. And then he said that Puff called him and was like, listen, Faith been getting on my damn nerves about this chord that you played.
Was that the one? Was that the one where he said he had a flight?
Yes, that's Kill, Apartment 5B. He did that with him. And he was like, he had a flight, and he was like, yo, and Puff was like, look, do this song with her, get it done and forever. And he was like, yo, I gotta get on the plane by 6. I'm trying to get back to DC. Like, I gotta go. And he like, look, the studio is paid. Listen, do this song with her so she can stop bugging me about it. Because obviously she's bugging me. She had on her answering machine, and he let her hear it on the answering machine. And he was just like, yo, all right, let me get this done so we can get up out of here. And he did it, and he said he never touched it. After they did it, he never touched it, and he did. And I said, you did that only one time?
That song's That song's a gem, man. That
Yes,
song's
it
a
is.
gem. And
Yes,
the
it
thing
is.
that's interesting about all of these songs, a lot of these songs are like 5 minutes long, which is that's kind of foreign right now. Like 5 minute long songs, and it's really simple. Like it's, you know, you got your intro, first verse, hook, second verse, hook, bridge, and then the rest of the song is hook. Like it's like 2.5 minutes of hook.
And then it'll be like a little vamp out harmony.
Yep. Yep.
And it's all her.
Right.
Like it's all Faith. No background vocalist, just her.
Her back,
you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, her background abilities and talents are just.
That's why Albie Shore loved her. He was like, he loved her. The way she arranged her background vocals and all that kind of stuff. That's how I actually got into Faith, to be honest, because of what she did on Mary's My Life album.
I'm about to say, because you a Mary guy, so
yes. And when I heard, because Mom got Used to Love Me on, you know, on cassette. These kids will never know these days. But they got the cassette, and I was like, wait a minute, I know that voice. I heard that before. And my mom's like, yeah, that's Faith. And I'm like, who? And she was like, the girl that sing on your favorite song, I Never Want to Live Without You, the girl that comes in after the bridge, and baby, won't you stay with me a little while? Like, that's her. I said, oh, shit, okay. Yeah. But then the beat, then afterwards, you playing, I was like, I didn't even think about Mary. This beat is sick. Like, what the hell? And I was just like, yo, it's so street. Because again, that's the difference in my household. My dad was a big hip hop head. My mom was a soul head. So he liked the beat because it's still a little, it got a little knock to it. And my mom is like, I love her voice. So it was, I remember was a cassette that was played.
It's the perfect between what Mary was doing and what Faith came in to do, Total came in to do, Gina Thompson came in to do. Like, it was the perfect merger between hip hop and R&B heads.
Yes.
So it was like somebody like me, my teens, I was a hip hop head.
Yeah.
So somebody like me could listen to, you know, Used to Love and Used to Love Me, and, you know, I can nod my head. And someone who's, you know, an R&B head can come in and they can love it too, just as much. So it was like, it was very genius marketing and creation.
Yeah, I think, well, marketing, Faith. I mean, you know, oh, okay, I'm gonna be nice. I ain't gonna, y'all know me, I can go over, but I'm gonna do it. Be quiet at least. But I'm like, the marketing, he tried to market her as like a older artist, but I'm like, how are you gonna do that? And you're coming out of Bad Boy. Like, to me, I'm like, you opening the album with No Other Love. Right. And you open it with a doom.
Yeah.
Like, and you're marketing her like this. Like, I'm like,
nah, she not gonna appeal to the Clark sisters fans.
No, like, she's not. But don't get me wrong, once they get the album and they get songs like All This Love and you get all these kind of, they're gonna get it. But when they first get this album, these gospel fans, and they like, what? No Other Love, and you hear that doom. Them Clark sister fans gonna be like, oh no, we had you brought the sunshine already. We good. Like,
they was about 2 years early.
Yeah, yes. I agree. I agree because once something came out, it was a wrap.
Yeah, they could have came with that 2 years later and they might have been in there.
It was a wrap. It was absolutely a wrap. But do you think so? Honestly, the perfect like parent of Faith and Chucky, As Soon As I Get Home, was like their perfect parent on as a, you know, a songwriter and producer. I feel like that song to me is them. It's perfect. Like with them, it's just a perfect.
I would agree. I would agree. I think I mean the apex is that one, like we said, Reasons, and like we said, Tears Away. Because I mean, Tears Away was written, you know, that was written after Big was shot, and you know that was coming from that place. So it's like, you know, all of her songs are coming from these genuine places. And then, you know, she already had love for what Chucky was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when you're working with someone and you already got a love and respect for what they do,
Mm-hmm.
you're automatically going to bring, you know, your top shelf performance.
Yes.
That's what
absolutely.
happens. You know what I mean? Like when you got somebody in the studio that you love and respect, you know, on a personal level, on a, you know, on a level of a fan, that's what you do. Like you come correct. Like you come for real.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I absolutely think that those three were probably the top for them.
Because I always thought too that Falling in Love too, I always thought that was but now I know with reading the line of notes, thanks to your shirt, I should have worn it. but Falling in Love, that was done by Trackmasters, but it fit. It fit.
Oh,
you
very
know what
much
I mean?
so.
It fit.
Very much so. Very much so.
It was kind of like, to me, like you said, No Other Love, you coming in and it's like, you know, this is a Bad Boy album. Like, you know, this is Bad Boy. But then you come with Falling in Love. It's kind of real R&B-ish, but still sweet. Because you already coming off that Walk On By, you thinking of Warning, you're like, it's familiar, here we go. But then you coming with Falling in Love. It's like, okay, we in there. You know what I mean?
It's the mid-tempo, mid-90s, like in that wheelhouse. Because, you know, everybody you know, after the Chronic, everybody was smoking. So the tempos went like this.
Well, they say music always reflects what the popular drug is at the time.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
right.
True. That's very true.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know,
that's why you got
on this one.
That's why we got disco, because that was the cocaine. And then
and that tempo did not slow down until about 92, 93. That shit was to that Chronic, and it was biatch, and then them tempos did just like this.
They dropped.
Then nowadays they doing all kind of weird ass drugs, and the music is weird and vibey and all that. As far as the young people,
Yes,
that's why I'm so happy. So we got y'all. I swear. I swear.
No, we can do 75 BPM, but we prefer not to. Please
don't. Please do what y'all do. Please don't stop. Please.
I like my music to be fun.
Yeah, man. Like you know what I mean? Like we wanted to be up. Like you know, and plus we think about the performance.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know, in the studio, we're thinking about already how it's going to be performed, and it's like, yo, we gotta have that shit humping a little bit.
Yeah. Like, I would. Sidebar, I would have wanted to be in the studio when y'all created Caramel. I'm sorry.
You'd have been sitting next to my daughter. I got video of my daughter who was, I think she was 8 at the time.
Yeah.
Helping me with the hand claps on Caramel.
Oh my God. Like it's
headphones almost big as her head, and we was in there with the hand claps on Caramel.
I love it. That's what we need. Like, oh God, oh Lord. And then we go to Elisa's record. Talk about it. I know listen, I know you love that record. I ain't gonna listen. Go off. It's your time, boo.
It's the only song on the record that I do not like.
Which one?
Oh, Love Don't Live Here Anymore.
No.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I skipped. I'm sorry.
Yes, I know.
When you were saying it, I thought you was being sarcastic. I was like,
Oh no, I wasn't being shady because I know you love this record. So no, not that one. No.
I went too fast.
Yeah, you went too fast. I'm talking about Ain't Nobody. Your joint.
Yes, Ain't Nobody is my favorite record.
Ain't Nobody's that's a black ass record, boy.
Black.
That's a black ass record. Yes.
And I'm so black, and that's why I love it.
Yep. And it made so much sense when I heard or read where his influence came from. Did you see that?
No.
We got it from Dangerous.
What?
What's the record on Dangerous? I may have to look it up.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Oh, Dangerous album for real? Michael Dangerous?
Yeah, hold on. I'm about to cheat real quick.
Oh no. This is
that.
damn.
Hold on. It was Can't Let Her Get Away.
How the fuck did I not think of that? And that's my favorite joint on the album.
Can't Let Her Get Away. And you can hear it. Like it's super up tempo, but you take that and you drop the tempo down and it's the same drum pattern.
Damn, you learn something new every damn day. This damn show.
I love Faith vocals on it. It's like the little smoky little low thing she doing. I'm into it. It's always need something. It's just such a bop. Like because I remember when all the singles, because that was like the last single.
It was the last single, yeah.
And I remember saying, I like this bit, like as much as I used to love him, but like I was like, I like this song even better than that. And I love that song.
Ain't Nobody is just such, and like you said, it's, to me, I don't like the radio edit, because that song, like Zoe said, a lot of these songs are over 5 minutes. Like, you had to break it. And when you played it on the radio.
Yep.
And it was like, when I heard them playing it on Hot 97, I was like, please don't play this on the radio no more. Like, y'all, no, you can't, you got to play the 5/16 on this record. Like, you can't cut nothing. It's weird. Like, nah. I don't even remember from the radio, because at this point I had the album and I was just running it all the time. So I don't even remember the radio edit. But another thing I love about that song, and actually what I love about any Faith song, is the bridge. They know how to write a damn bridge, man.
All the time.
Oh my God. And know how to come out of it.
And then go back into something else and just fade out with something totally else.
Then Faith she gonna hit a run where she start to run and then she go high and come back down. Man. That's that Faith run, boy.
And it be right. Like I always say, I put this up maybe at least twice a month. I be like, listen, if you're gonna come out of a bridge, if you're gonna hold a note, fine. If you're gonna come out with a vocal run, please let it make sense. Because some of these motherfuckers be out here vocal running and it don't make no sense. Yeah, catch all what I just threw. But I'm just saying, like, no, y'all, like, like, but Faye, she know how to come out of one, and like you said, she's going up, but then she's gonna come back down and give you a quick run, and it's dope. Like, I'm like, that ain't nothing but Karen. That ain't nothing but Karen.
Right. Now, and two, Ain't Nobody and Falling in Love are probably the brightest songs on the album.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Like there's no clouds over them two.
You needed that.
The sun came out a little bit.
Yeah. Now it get cloudy on the remake though, but not before.
Right.
Shit, Ain't Nobody Love Me Now. Love Don't Live Here No More.
Okay.
I do not like anything about that cover. And this is probably blasphemous, but I already don't love the original. Like,
that's
I like it.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, what do you feel about the original?
The original, I actually like it musically, but I don't like the arrangement of it. I just don't really like the song part of it. I love, the instrumentation, all that on it, but I just do not like that song.
Well, Faye and them didn't like it either. So, I mean, they wrote it in her book.
Yeah, you could tell by the way she's singing it. She don't sing like that on any other song on that record. You could tell that she don't really want to be singing it.
She did. And I think we all know why, Puff did it, because of the I'm Going Down. He used the Rolls Royce with that. You know what I mean? Which you don't like that either. But
I asked Jared today, I said, do I not like Rolls Royce or something? Because it's a lot of songs. But I don't think that's what it is. But it's just them two particular songs. They just don't do it for me. And
I know as a kid, I was always enamored with like the instrumentation of Norman Whitfield, Rolls Royce production. like all that car wash stuff. I was just like, yo, there's so many different sounds coming at from so many different angles, including Love Don't Live Here. Well, Love Don't Live Here wasn't on the soundtrack, but it was still, their stuff. But it's like, yeah. So I feel you. Musically is there. Musically is there. Now I will say, the musical reproduction of it was dope, particularly for it to be in '95.
Right.
No, I don't like that either.
You ain't like it either? Yeah, I mess with it. I was like, yeah, musically, I mess with it.
Like even back then, I would always skip that. I would always skip that because then right after that, then the album just hits a stride. Like
absolutely,
like, so
absolutely.
Like after that, so that's my suffer through that or skip it, and then now you about to. You in there, yeah.
That's what she did. Y'all see what she said? She said suffer through it. But
it was identical to the original though. So
and then
if you had the original, you could skip it.
Because when you got the first copy, it had Mary on it.
Oh yeah, I had that. That's what I had. Because
that's the one I think
I bought it like the week after it came out.
Because I think the first 500,000 copies had the one with Mary on it. Then once you got kind of used to the one with Mary and Faith, and then the one that Faith did by herself, it was like, it felt like there was that grit that was missing to me. It was like Mary gonna come on there and be gritty with it. That's just her, the raw vocals that she gives. And then when you listen to Faith, it sounded sweet, but you can still tell that Faith really wasn't digging the record. Like you can just be like, and then reading the book, I said, I get it. Yeah, Faith was like, yeah. And Puff said, look, I'm gonna give y'all $100, go get drunk, go get high, and go record this record. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need y'all to do this. And now listening to this, it makes sense because it's like, they didn't really want to do it. They really didn't. It was just like, all right, we're getting.
So you listen to it, it's almost like it feels rushed because the way that Faith usually attacks a song is in a very deliberate and this, it just felt like almost choppy. And that's not what she does. That's not the kind of singer she is.
That's true. Yeah. That's very true.
It felt like it was like not, I think her and Mary was trying to like match each other. Cause like you said, it was like the way Faith attacks a song is completely different. When you listen to this record, it's like, nah, this is not the way, like we just finished with Ain't Nobody. And the way she attacked that record, and then you get to Love Don't Live Here No More, and it's like, wait a minute now. This sound like Faith had a couple of Coke 45 before she did this shit. Like, yeah, like we
need a cover.
Blew a little more.
this was the We Need a Cover album.
Right.
Yeah. Because every album, we was just talking to somebody like Jade album and all of them, they all had a cover.
Yeah.
On it, you know. You don't get a Rolls Royce cover or Emotions cover.
Yeah.
Or, like that was standard.
Well, if you in Vogue, you do 2 Aretha covers.
Come on now. Come on, though. Come on.
If you was a girl in the 90s, you had a cover on your album. You might have 2 or 3.
But see, I think also that was the level of the respect and what they were giving respect to the ones that came before them.
I think, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of we don't do that now, unfortunately.
100%. Because I mean, every like you said, everybody was doing that. Everybody was doing that.
Yeah, but them girls could sing though. Like they was pulling off a lot of those covers.
Catch a lot of that she just threw to you. This is not me. Now we did 3 episodes with Zoe, and I'm normally the extra one. Y'all better catch what Elisa's throwing in this episode.
but in all seriousness, like they could, like a lot of those covers are like I don't like this cover, but a lot of those other covers that those 90s girls was doing was straight.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Your En Vogues, your Brownstones, all them, they was covering the hell out of some shit. Sometimes it's sounding better than originals. So
that's true. That's true.
Ribbon in the sky.
Yeah.
Don't intro it right now. We ain't got
or Brownstone,
all I
transforming the Eagles song.
That's right. True.
Yeah. They sure did.
I don't even need to listen to the Ego song no more. Like,
and then I had a 12-inch and it got the acapella, bitch.
The Choir of Brownstone.
It's nasty.
But like you said too, I feel like after Love Don't Live Here No More and starts from Come Over, this album goes to the fucking stratosphere. That's like you're there and you ain't coming off this ride. Like it's riding all the way through.
And everything flows together seamlessly.
Like, oh my God, yes. Like
Come Over reminds me of Let's Chill.
Ooh, I didn't think of that.
And not in a way to where it's like they're biting. It's just the same lane as far as like feel, instrument choices, drum sounds. It's in the same lane as Let's Chill to me.
I can now hearing it in my head, I can see it.
And on that song, I love the way she's saying. It's just one particular part I like to say. Really miss your smile, like that little section. That's
so her. Like it's so her, man.
It is just that one little piece of the song just makes me go crazy every time.
And she does her own backgrounds again.
That's that gospel in her.
Yeah,
that's it.
That part's very gospel.
That's it. And that's what Chucky used to, that's what he said. He was like, yo, I used to just love producing Faith. Because she would do herself vocally, but producing the whole record, he'll be like, yo, this girl is so gospel and she can't help it. Like, that's just her. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like, yo, I'll be listening and be like, yo, like, I want to say Jesus one time. Like, that's just how much, like, of a gospel girl she is. That's why, again, it really bothers me when they kind of compare the My Life and the Faith album, because it's so different emotionally.
Yep.
Like, again, Mary's is too soulful. Like, this shit here is just gospel to me. Like, the chords that he playing on it, you know what I mean? Like,
he even comes in with an organ patch on Come Over. And the organ, comes in after the you come, like, you hit the organ slide up, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
This gospel.
Yes. And like, son, it's just like after that complete, that it was, I always say this, I always feel like after track 7, this is where this album becomes legendary to me. Because it's a ride that you just don't want to get off. Because how you come from Come Over, as soon as I get home, and to all this fucking love.
And that's the one that she had already. She had that song already with with her previous boyfriend.
Yes. Yeah. And when she said, you got me singing la la la. Now how the hell I feel something like that? Because again, y'all know me, I'm an emotional listener, so I'm getting into the emotion of the record. And I just remember first hearing that, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm feeling, but I'm feeling something. Like, this is some weird shit. Like, and mind you, you don't know during that time, you don't know if she's singing it the big. But again, like you said, so this was a record that she already had. So back then, I would be arguing, be like, no, she's singing this shit the big. I don't care what you say. I feel it in my soul. Like, she like, nigga, I'm giving you all this love right here. And you better accept it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like,
it's one of those things that as an artist, when you put it out there, it's just kind of like you take it and run with your meaning. Like if I'm saying, if she's singing it to big, then that's what it is. You singing it to, the previous boyfriend, that's what it is. If I'm singing it to, my daughter at the time, that's what it is. You know what I mean? So you kind of take it and put it into your own context, maybe within your own experience.
Right. I agree. I totally agree. And then then after that, her interludes. Faith got some bomb ass interludes, yo. Like, she said, "You Are My Joy" could be a full record. And mind you, just like you said, Zoe, she could have been talking about God, but she was talking about her daughter. You know what I mean? That song was to her daughter, but we know Faith from a gospel background. she could be talking about God. So you got the song and you take it how you want it. You know what I mean? Like
was Come Over original? No, Reasons was originally an interlude. I know for sure.
Yes.
Wasn't Come Over also an interlude? Changed into a
might have been.
Was that? Am I getting that wrong? All right.
Because I know Reasons was.
Yeah.
And then I think Chucky heard her and Dave Hollister.
Yep.
Yes. And was like, nah, this shit need to be a full song. Y'all tripping. Like,
right.
Y'all go ahead and make this. Like, y'all tripping.
That man know he had 2 weapons.
Yeah, like he said in Kill's interview, he said it used to be a beautiful thing where you had Deron from 112 playing the damn piano, and you had Faith and KC and Mary and Usher, and all of them was just hungry and young. And they would just sing. He said, I wish I had a damn recorder so I could record this. Because he said, you never realize what you got. You know what I mean? Because he was like, all of them was so young and they just wanted to sing. It was no business involved. It was just like somebody play on the piano and somebody just start singing.
That's that Motown shit. This
yeah.
Is like, yo, whoever's around, yo, come in here, Martha. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on. We need a hand clap.
Yep.
We need a tambourine. Somebody do something. Yo, Martha, go play the drums. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do something. And I would have loved to hear that. And I think that's why Chucky brought that into the album with, you know what I'm saying, Deron playing on Thank You, Lord. Like, I'm gonna give y'all a feeling of what we experiencing up in here. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? He got the right person to sing from the group.
That train's never late.
I know you know I had to say that. You know I had to say that. I'm sorry. I had to do it, so I had to do it. It was that road was open and I had to take it. So at least you know I had to do it. I'm sorry.
You're not.
Deron, thank you.
You're ridiculous, Keelan. You are ridiculous.
I had to do it. But yeah, thank you, Lord. Her interludes, man. I and
even going into the second album, well, they were doing that on Mary's album too.
Yeah. They
like,
did the thing.
Like Faith was the one to me that was like, that's where it like really blossomed into. They were doing interludes of songs that hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
You had like the Caramel Kisses interlude, and then it would show up later.
Yeah.
On 112's album. You know what I mean? Like it was just a little.
I love that song.
Me too.
Yes.
And I think, and speaking of Caramel Kisses and songs with the water drop sound, Reasons kind of walked so that like a Cupid could run. And a Caramel Kisses
that song.
could also run.
Yeah,
nice
Oh, Chucky.
Oh, Chucky.
Yeah.
Oh, Chucky. I would have been mad if we didn't get a whole. That shit would have just been an interlude. I'd be like, Chucky.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cupid was not Chucky. I'm sorry. Cupid was not Chucky. I stand corrected. It wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't him?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, who did it?
I cannot think of his name off top, but it wasn't.
That was a line of note that I didn't look at.
Yeah.
Shut up. I'm about to look it up because now I want to know.
Yep.
Arnold Hennings.
So I guess he was part of Hitman then.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But
and then
was a goddamn jam.
Oh my God. Then you go, you got Used to Love Me, which we definitely talking about. But Give It to Me is a gem on this album because first of all, when me and Mom heard it, we knew it because we are Tyrone Davis lovers.
Right.
So when we heard that damn In the Mood, we was like, oh shit. Yep. Like,
and again, if there was a hip hop joint that popularized it already with MC8, all for the money the year before, 94. Because I used to wear that album out. That we came strapped. I used to run that album out, especially that song. So to get this album and then to hear it kind of flipped and replayed and, you know, polished up a little bit, and still got some, you know, you still got some kind of heavy drums on it.
It got a knock,
Yeah, it's still there, but it was, you know, tailored for Faith again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yo, this is
This,
like, I can run 8 and I can run Faith, and you know, them not really clash like that.
mm-hmm.
And then JR, you know what I instantly go to anytime we mention Tyrone Davis.
I know you. I knew it.
And I'm gonna say it every time. So we went on Bow-Legged Lou's upcoming radio show.
Really?
And he tried to come for us. He's like, I y'all know about Tyrone Davis. And then I got mad because nothing makes me madder than when somebody older than me be like, you don't know nothing about. I don't like that. I don't like it.
And mind you, when he did it, I was about to answer politely, right? Elise was like, JR, hold up, stop. And I was like, oh shit. Like, she was like, stop. Did you really ask us? Did we know? And he was like, do we know Tyrone Davis? And he was like, okay, well, name 3 songs.
And then I
said, oh, you don't.
I instantly said 3 off the dome. JR said 3, and then I said another one.
And then Elise was like, do you want any more? I said, oh,
this almost like your beef with
with Brian?
No.
Oh.
With Terrace.
Oh.
I saw that clip. I was like, boy.
I was like, yo, when Elise told that, you want to get on some gangster shit, Tasma? And I was like, oh, shit. He was like, nah.
Yeah, anytime Tyrone Davis, that will always take me back to.
Yes, I was just, now mind you, I'm the one that be a little extra with it.
Yeah, and Bow-Legged Lou were my heroes, and that wasn't the only time I popped off in the third.
No, it wasn't. But that was the one, though. That was the one with Elisa, and she told me to stop. She was like, JR, hold up, stop. You really asking us if we know who Tyrone Davis is? I said, oh shit. Elise, they about to throw us off this damn show.
Because this wouldn't be the last time that Bad Boy sampled Tyrone Davis.
And you
they got him for the total joint too.
Well.
I mentioned total last time and you did that.
Yeah, you did. I ain't gonna be nasty, so
it's a few people that's his knee-jerk reaction, and he been real nice about one of them today, and I applaud you for that one, but he couldn't.
I was nice about one today. I'll let it ride.
Main one, your main trigger. So I'm proud of you. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm being real nice. Real nice.
I'm proud of you, bro. I know.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been around you a lot, so I'm dumbing myself down a little bit.
I don't know. Elise sounds like she gonna pull out a gat and try to cut you with a vinyl record. Right. Put a piece out on your ass and throw a record at you in a frisbee style.
Hey, man, what?
Like the last whole video with the
right. I forgot about that. My man had the vinyl in his damn.
But sorry, I didn't mean to take this there.
We done got into some gangster shit indeed.
Yes. Oh God. But y'all know what my favorite record on this album is? You Don't Understand. That is my favorite record because of the emotion of this record. Faith said she was talking to Big. I said, yeah, I knew you were. Chucky said, this is when the shift happened. He was like, okay, Faith is going through something. All right, okay, we got a shift here. You know what I mean? And I just love it because like she started it with like is it a game that we're playing? Like, she's letting them know, like, are we playing games here? Or like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? And to know that this song, that it was literally, Chucky said there was a first version of it, but the power went out.
Yep.
The power went out. So he said that first version was the shit. But he said, then they had to go back and redo it, and this is what we got. I said, damn, this is dope, but imagine what the first version was. Because he was like, the power went back, so of course they had to kind of play it on what they thought they had. You know what I mean? And I'm like, fuck. But this is my favorite song on the album, though, because, like, to me, it's just like she's telling what she's going through with her and Big. And I think because of Mary My Life being my favorite, and she was letting us know what the hell she was going through with KC, it was like, this was that with Faith. You know what I mean? Because the other songs, it can be like whatever. You know what I mean? She could be talking about anybody. But this, to me, it was like, yes, you're talking to Big. I know you're talking to Big. Like, it's nothing. And when Chucky confirmed it in that interview, and he said, yeah, she was definitely talking about Big in this record. And it was like, yeah, I knew it. I felt it. You know what I mean?
It's the one she was like emotional in the booth and everything.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And that's me. Give me all the emotion. Give it all to me. You know what I mean? So that's how I kind of get into a record with the emotion of the record. I was like, I would love to hear what that first version that sound like.
It's easy to get into a record when you know the person who recorded it is into it.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of a connector.
Right.
There.
Yeah. Right.
I get it. I totally get it.
Man, when that joint come on, probably after this, my neighbor's gonna be pissed, but I'm gonna blast the shit out of that joint. They probably gonna be like, is Elise here? Because anytime she here, the music go loud as hell, and they be like, oh, she's here. She's here.
You know what? This the joint when Chucky was kind of in his I can't even say the brother's name. The Predator.
Oh yeah.
He was in that bag.
I agree.
Like, you can tell like the core patches, kind of the even the lighter drums, like he was in that lane on this.
He was. Yeah, he was. And you could just like wow, like I'm like babe, why couldn't this be a single? I want to see the dude. I want to, not a single, because there's some songs that shouldn't be singles, but this, I would love to just see her do it live, like just one time. Because quiet as it's kept, she could do it now.
Yeah, she could. This will be one of them joints that would be dope. Like if she ever performed at like a city winery. And just did a an intimate crowd, 300, and let me just we're gonna pull out these album cuts, these B-sides, and we're gonna do this.
Like Elise was saying with this album, I also feel like when Sis was saying it this morning that it's like jazz bluesy album type.
That's what I was saying. It's mixed in with the gospel. It's like would you say you could see her performing this like in a little smoky jazz club,
I could see
it would translate, the way she's singing.
I could see like on some like Billie Holiday type of vibe, like with her in a club, and again, so she's doing these album tracks, like she's doing Come Over, she's doing, you know what I mean, like You Don't Understand, doing Reasons, like, and it's smoky as hell. But she's giving us, you know what I'm saying, that jazzy, bluesy type of thing. Because I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, when Elise texted to me, she was like, this sounds so jazzy, bluesy. And I was like, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, we agree for once. And I was like, yo, sis, I agree with that. I could see her like with some Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan type of joint. And like you said, performing this at the winery, like she can do it there and bring out these album cuts. Because, man, I would love just to see her do All This Love. Because I swear when she gets to that damn bridge, I throw my shoe at Faith. I'm sorry. I swear. Just to be you got me singing. I'm like, hey!
Like, look, Jada got kicked out again.
Yeah, get kicked out by this time of year. Oh my God. Yeah, man. Yes. And then I thought, sis, because remember the record you asked me, the first record you asked me, you said, which one you think I don't like? And remember I said, oh, it might be Don't Be Afraid. You was like, oh, no. You was like, I love that record. And I thought that may be the one, because a lot of people don't talk about Don't Be Afraid. Because a lot of people do, like Zoe talks about Reasons,
right,
which is a bonus track, honestly.
And to me, I don't think that talk started until later. I think that talk kind of started, post social media type.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like Don't Be Afraid was Herb Middleton.
Yes. Yep.
That was a Herb Middleton joint, but it fit again, like the whole everything, texture. It was very mid 90s with the, you got the little pre-snare, the boom, like that. The Devontae, where he didn't have the going into it, but he had like he had the I can't think of it right now, not the washboard, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But like any type of noise going into the snare, I'm like, yeah, that's 93, 95, boy.
Yes. Oh yeah. And you needed that record after, you know what I'm saying, you don't understand as emotional as that record was. You needed something to come out of it. Because it's like Faith got you deep in your damn emotions. It's like, damn girl, I'm crying with you. Like, we need to come out of this. Like,
yeah, now you need a cushion.
Yeah. And when it Don't Be Afraid, it's smooth. It's all right, we in there. You know what I mean? Honestly, if it was me, like, this might be blasphemy for a lot of people, but I'm sorry, I would have did You Don't Understand. I'd have ended it with Reasons. I wouldn't need Don't Be Afraid. To me, because I love Reasons so much, and it's a bonus. You know what I mean? Because if you didn't, some people might have just got the album and it didn't have Reasons on it. I think it was on the CD, wasn't it? Or was it on the cassette?
It's on the CD.
That I don't know. I know it was definitely on the CD.
Yeah,
it was on the CD. It was on the CD.
Because
I had,
Oh, okay. So the cassette didn't have it. So a lot of those people that
I don't know. I didn't have a cassette, so I don't know.
Yeah, so because I know on like y'all said, the CD has Reasons on it. But I think when you get the regular album, it was kind of like a Target type of thing. You know, when you go to Target and getting the,
you get 12 tracks.
Yeah.
You get the CD, you get 16.
Yes. And so it felt like that. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, well, I'm glad my mom got the CD because I needed Reasons. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Reasons was very, very 90s progression. 90s chord progression, whereas the you know what I'm saying, like a Can We Talk progression with that major, like that major 7, major 9 resolve at the end of it, even like a Make It Last Forever, where you hit that major chord and it just seemed like everything opens up. That's what Reasons. That's what Reasons is. Oh yeah. And then he took it and kind of half-timed it, kind of did like some cut time in it and all that stuff with the drums and stuff. So it's like, all right, man, you kind of playing with us right now. That reason is top notch, man. That's how you close the fucking album.
Hello?
Yeah, agreed.
That's how you close the album, bonus track or not. That's how you close it.
Oh my God. So if you, with this album as a 90s album, where would you put this as far as
oh boy
that?
As far as 90s R&B? For me, this is up there in the top 3 for me. I can run this kind of top to bottom. Oh shit. Okay, let me see. Let me try this off top.
Okay.
Let me try it off top.
Okay.
You got your Faith, you got your Adriana Evans, you got your Intro, first album. Let me think. I know I'm missing some. I know I'm missing something big. Off top, those three for me are really important. Particularly as far as influence, because I think as someone who was, starting to create, and in the early mid 90s, I was creating by recreating. So like everything I was doing remakes. So that was like that was kind of my education as far as producing, to pick apart, let me listen to these parts and figure out how these parts are layered, figure out song structure, figure out how it's supposed to go. So like I would remake stuff from my life. I was remaking stuff from Jodeci. I was remaking stuff, I was remaking stuff from the Dog Pound. So I mean, all these different aspects. That was what I was. But like this Faith album was big because Chucky's style of playing is very chordal, and so me trying to figure out as soon as I get home was important to me. Because I'm like, oh, these chords go together, in succession. And, this is how you do a change. This is how you do a bridge. Oh, the bridge goes here. Is you normally after the, second hook, or it's normally after the, second verse. And then, oh, okay, it kind of breaks it up. So like, this was a very, very important album for me, just and listening to it as a producer. As far as, even just as far as like sequencing, also. But the way that Chucky produced, the way that he played, and that type of thing was pretty major for me, because it was just like, yo, like this is still, it's not hip hop. Like I was, like I said, I was a hip hop fanatic. And so me listening to R&B at 15, I was like, okay, this shit better be fucking great. And hearing something like this, I'm like, oh, okay, now, okay. So now I can kind of take this and figure it out, play it, and still not lose my little hip hop card. You know what I mean? Right. So I put this way up on my personal list. Is it the best? I don't know, but to me, as far as it striking a personal chord, it struck a personal chord with me heavy. And this is why even to this day, when I get interviewed and somebody's like, who's your dream collaboration? I'll be like, Faith Evans.
So many people said that, because remember, Terrence Martin said he went in for Faith, like went in for her and was like, yo, she is dope as shit. Like, yo,
I would love to work with Faith. Just give me one jam.
And with you being a hip hop head too,
yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, you could give her like a
just give me one jam. Me and Tall Black Guy, we got her.
Y'all could man, Faye, girl.
It's in the universe now. It's in the universe now.
Yes.
We got it.
We need Faye to work with Zoe and Tall Black Guy, please. Please. That shit would be fucking epic. I will lose my fucking mind.
She'd be in good hands, man. She'd be good hands, and it'd be very easy.
Yes, and then for you to be also a fan of Chucky too. And I put Chucky on the top list because of my life any damn way. Right. But it's just, I like a producer that can get with an artist and let them be them and not give them something that they gave somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
100%.
It was like, that's why, again, I go back to the whole Mary, My Life, and Faye. I'm like, if you are really a music head, you can totally see the difference. It's not the same at all. And what Chucky gave, you know what I'm saying? What he gave the Big, he didn't give the Mary. What he gave the Nas, he didn't give the Faith. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't give, God, what is her name? At least we love her too.
Hold it.
Oh, okay. You must be going somewhere with it. Yeah. Okay, you must be going somewhere with it. Okay. All right.
About 10 more minutes.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
Because I know exactly where you're going.
She knew where I was gonna go with this, but okay, yeah. But
I think I know too, but I'm
yeah, I think so too. Now that I thought about it, now I know the name I was thinking about. But this album is the shit, yo. Like I was just playing this today, and I was just like, this album is just flawless to me. Like there's albums that to me that's flawless. I put Faith there, and I also put Toni Braxton's debut. And I think that's a flawless record to me. And Faith is just the same. Like, I don't care how many times I heard You Used to Love Me. I can run that back. I can run soon as I get home. Like, for me and Elise, we're not the singles type. Like, after a while, I'll be like, I don't need to hear the single no more.
Right.
All the singles on this album, I can care less. I'm like,
it fits. It fits very well.
It fits well.
And
like,
the thing too with her album is it's very her. Like it's not an album that's produced for her.
Yes.
Like she was heavily involved. You know, she did all the vocal arrangements. She did, you know, the majority of the writing. So it's very, very her, and it's very authentic. And I think that's why we love Faith, and that's why we love a Mary J, because we know that the music that they put out is going to represent them 100%.
Yes. And the hip hoppers love it. That's why I was like you said, so the hip hoppers love it. Like my dad, you could listen to this and be cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Because after a while he'd be like, all right, enough. I'm enough. Like I need some Big, I need some LL, I need some this. And we played this, and he'd be like, all right, I can rock with it. You know what I mean? Don't go too far now, but we can rock with it. You know,
because I mean, like with albums like My Life, and you know, even 411, My Life, Faith can give you and lead you into an Aaliyah album with Timbaland and Missy. And that's why that made sense in '96, where you come with those drums, which is, I mean, Timbaland and Missy, that's a whole nother conversation of just ridiculousness. Because the first time I heard One in a Million, like I wanted to punch everybody in the face. I'm like, what the fuck?
You're throwing shoes and buy the records.
Like this is incredible. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And, you know, who knew that one song would just have all the producers so scared that they were just like, yo, we just gonna do the same thing.
Right.
Until 2000, 2001.
That's when you know you made an impact. God
damn.
Yeah,
exactly. Like you had folks so shook that they had to bite. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yo, did he just drop the mic with that one, sis? Like,
man, I ain't even got to drop it. I think Tim and Missy dropped it. I think
they sure did.
They broke that mic in half.
Yeah, they
need that.
Yep.
Now try to follow what the fuck we do.
Right. Meanwhile, we gonna change styles 15 times.
That part.
Hey, that's a whole. We might need to do that next. We might need to
see Zoe do this every episode. He do this every episode.
I'll be on here a fifth time.
Don't listen. You know we don't care.
Every time I'm like, I guess Zoe do like.
See y'all soon. R&B representative +1.
Yeah, listen, please. You already in, please.
So this would be a good time to get to my favorite part of the show. Jared, I'll fight you in your face. Find me on record. So this one, today's word association, I'm gonna give you a song or album that Chucky was heavily involved in, either produced it or like album that he produced like majority of. And just first thing that come to your mind about it, just easy peasy. You know the drill.
Yep.
All right. How about we're gonna start off with Raheem DeVaughn, Woman, which was nominated for a Grammy.
DC, that's what I think about. Very much so, just, you know, going back to the crib and, you know, he and another DMV cat getting it in.
Yeah. I love Raheem DeVaughn.
He's so consistent, man.
Like he got good ass out, like he got bodies of work.
Mm-hmm.
Like them
And even better performer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. He know how to work a stage now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And okay, so what I think JR was about to get to was Emily King.
Yes.
Yes. East Side Story. Another Grammy nom for him. For them.
You know what? I don't think I got none for that one.
Oh. Have you heard it?
I don't not off top.
Oh, please hear it.
Check it out, Zoe. Yes.
Check out the catalog. Emily
Oh
King.
my God.
It's I think you would really dig it.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what you like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like when we can put somebody else on. Like for real.
Yes.
Like
Yeah. No, I'm gonna run that.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Next we got, how about we'll go hip hop. Nas, One Mic.
Simplicity is what I think about with that one. And dynamics. Similar to Soon as I Get Home, where it's, this big hook, chords all over the place, and then you get to the verse and it just gets real simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like real simple. Same with One Mic. One Mic is just, it's more of a mood, like it's a moody song.
Mm-hmm.
Very different for Nas at that point in time. And songs have build up. Like that's what we do as artists. You build up to this climax. For example, like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, build it to this big climax, woo, and then ride out. Whereas like One Mic does that for each verse. Like it builds up, and here comes the drum. So it was like it was really, really different. And I liked it for Nas because Nas always gets flagged at that point, particularly for his choice of beats.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a good one for him.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. And it's one word that comes to mind anytime I think about that song, and it's crescendo. It's like that's the first thing I think of. That's what I love about that song. Like you said, the build up, and it's like, but then it goes back down. So you just get multiple.
Right.
That's so genius to me.
And he did that same thing around the same time with Big, with Dead Wrong. Like it was like really, really, really simple. Really simple, but really like just, you were still here with it. You know what I mean? So
all right. Next, let's go to Mary J. Blige, Time, from the Mary album.
Oh shit, okay.
Did you go there? Really? Ooh.
I didn't want to do the obvious low hanging Mary fruit.
Wow. You went to Time.
I was looking at the Mary album as like outside of my life, like kind of her most personal album to me. All the way down to the cover where you can see her scar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with that, like I think of just it being the first thing I think about is personal. First thing I think about is personal connection, humanness. Like that's what I really think about with that one there. Mary got one of my, I think that has my favorite Mary J joint on there too. That's Beautiful Ones.
And he did that.
And, Rich. Yep.
Yeah, him and Rich did that because I think, and Mary knew she needed Chucky for some songs on that Mary album. She had to get him because he knew, like she always said, Chucky would let her be free, just let her go. Then wherever she went, he followed her, so she was able to be the artist she wanted. So like he knew that she loved Stevie, so he knew to give her something like Time because it was like, I know this is her. She gonna go with it, and I'm gonna just follow with her. Damn, sis, you good. I didn't know you was going.
And I mean, that's what you have to do as a producer. Like the number one goal as a producer on my side, when you talk to Tay, you talk to Nick, you talk to Tall Black, like our goal is always to bring out an artist's A game. You want to bring out the best in that artist with the music that best suits them, which is much easier said than done. And sometimes even the artists will outthink themselves in that category, where it's like, yo, here's some tailor-made for you. And they're like, oh, I don't really know. It's like, nigga, trust me. Like, this is you. So it's like, you know, that's our goal. And I think that he was a master at that. I think that he was a master at that. Jam and Lewis are masters at that. Teddy Riley's a master at that. Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards were masters at that. And a lot of that has to do with personal connection. I know that, you know, in Nile's book, he talked about, you know, making sure that they hung out.
Yeah.
You know, Jam and Lewis is the story of them and Janet, you know, them sitting down and hanging out with Janet for a couple of weeks, even before they even went into the studio. I think I got that right. But just getting to know her, getting to know the artist's story, and, you know, that type of thing, and talking to them. And, you know, it's so much more as a producer that goes into producing than just, you know, just passing someone music. Like, I really want to, like, get to know your story, get to know your experience, because that way I can kind of feed that, you know, those colors into your music, or what will become your music. That way, when we do collab, it's a merger. Like, it's us, it's our song. It's your song, but, you know, you can clearly tell everybody's footprints in it.
Yeah.
And that's why Zoe is one of my favorite producers. He just said it. I don't know, period. Like, period. Like, he just, we study the masters, man. We study the masters. If Jam and Lewis, like, when they did their Red Bull joint, I was like, play, and I will just sit here and listen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got to know your history. You got to know there's people who've done this before you and who've done it better and longer. So I'm all ears.
He done dropped them damn mic again. Okay.
All right. One more, and this will be my favorite song by this particular artist.
Okay.
And it's Usher, Think of You.
Oh man. Oh man. And that song is so dope, man.
Oh my God.
That song is so dope.
The way every Chucky song is like, the way they come in is special.
That song is so dope.
Like,
man.
the first 10 seconds every Chucky song like that is special.
Since you were so smart, and then Faith wrote this record, like,
yeah. When I think of Think of You, I think of it as a great intro to Usher. Excellent intro. It wasn't anything where it's like we're trying to take this kid and make him, you know, sound more grown, where he's, you know, talking vulgar or being disrespectful on the record. You know, it's a dope ass song. Right. It's a dope song. Again, the 90s R&B formula, where, you know, Black Moon had already had success with this sample.
Yep.
We're gonna take that sample, that tidal wave joint, and we're gonna, you know, put it in the R&B form, which really worked. It really worked.
Now I want to listen to my Black Moon album.
Right. Because when Who Got the Props hit the scene, I was like, yo, who is this? Who got the props? And then how many MCs had me in a trance?
Yeah.
That shit had me in a trance for like 3 months.
Buck 'em Down, the remix. Yeah, Buck 'em Down remix, the one on Digging in the Vault.
Yeah. Is that shit is nutty.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah, no, the B miners was on. They was on some shit. They was on some shit for real.
You hip hop heads, I swear.
Yeah. Miners, boy, they was on a tear, boy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But like that, I mean, that's another sample. Like that tidal wave sample was like, you can't go wrong. And he took it and again polished it up, added the drums on there, and like that's one of them songs that used to sound wonderful on the radio. You know, those songs that like when they get into those radio frequencies, it sounds a little bit bigger, it sounds a little bit more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was one of them joints. And I was just like, yo, this, and again, like with the Give It To Me and All For The Money, you can listen to Who Got The Props and Think of You, and not clash and not run into each other. And that's just, you know, again, a production just gem that Chucky was, where, you know, he could take it, polish it up, and, you know, replay some parts to where it is essentially its own song on the side. Just got the same, you know, the same musical elements. When it's like, you know, you see the homage, you see where it comes from, but it's like I took it and I made it a little bit different. I kind of made it me, and we cut it on this kid.
Yeah, and that's because.
And then the yes, y'all to the beat, y'all make the record a little harder,
a little street. Right. Yes.
Again, it's palatable for hip hop heads. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna make this shit familiar to you by using a sample that you already know, and then taking, you know, some hip hop ad libs and sprinkling on that joint, and, you know, we're gonna throw some drums on that mug and see what you do. Yeah. And that was a joint I used to love that song, man.
Yeah. That's me and the still favorite Usher song.
Yeah, to this day. To this day,
still,
that's my favorite Usher song. Yeah.
Now that dude done had so many hits down the line, but that one there,
and so many songs I love, but that one, it never changed position ever.
I'd be like, Donnell and Faith was in their bag when they wrote that, and then Chucky was in his bag when he produced it. Like, they was just in that vibe, and like you said,
that was a dream team on that album. That's a dream team.
And it sounded good on the radio. Like, anytime it come on, and you just
sound good in your car.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's a hell of a way to come into the industry.
Yes. now y'all got me wanting to play that. I wanted to go Faith, but now I want to.
You can play that too, J.R. You can play all both of them. You can make a playlist, baby.
You right. Like what? I don't want to get my niggas too mad tonight. I don't want to get them mad.
I have a play. I'm trying to think of who. I think maybe Tyler or somebody made a Chucky when he passed. Made a nice little Chucky playlist on one of the streaming services. Yeah, I have to find it.
I know that shit was deep.
Yeah, I ran that for a minute. Yeah. Well, Speaky says, "Well, that was say goodbye." We was like, "Well, yeah." Like when you try to get off the phone with somebody black.
You gotta have about a 15-minute cushion. So yeah, you know.
So what you about to do, y'all?
Yeah. Especially being JR, we the worst.
Man, no, that's me, my sister, and my mom, boy. Like if we on Zoom, and me and my we got a running joke. Me and my sister be sitting there looking at each other like, okay, how long is it gonna take for us to get off Zoom? Like, all right, so I love y'all. I love you too. Yep. So I was watching
I'm gonna go through that right after I get off the phone with y'all. I have to talk to my mother all day.
Yeah. And that be JR, because JR be trying to really go. He be like, I gotta go to bed. I be like, oh yeah, and I saw this thing, and he never gonna like cut me off. He gonna let me have it because he's
go ahead.
And I be knowing, I be like, damn it, I started something else.
And then she'd be like, you know what? Let me just go before we start. We'll be on the phone for another 20 minutes.
And by that time, it'll be 4:30 in 4:30 a.m.
Yeah, me and him act like we don't talk every day. But anyway.
Right.
But yes, tell about anything you got going on new or anything you want to tell the folks?
Yeah, so we out on the road now with Abstractions, and we'll actually be in New York. I'm not sure when this is airing, but we'll be in New York March 27th on a Sunday. We'll be in Boston on April 22nd, and we're heading down to Texas. July 21st is Dallas, and July 23rd is Houston. And I think by the time you air this will be out. So we'll be in Detroit on August 10th at the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater, opening for Layla Hathaway.
It's all right.
Oh, wait a minute.
We might have to take a trip.
Yeah, I might have to tell Sin. We might have to come out there, sis.
Because every time I try to go see Layla, something happens. You know, like global pandemics and shit like that. So
right.
Oh no.
Year 3.
Right.
So I would love, and I've never been to Detroit before.
And this
JR has, but I haven't.
Yeah, because of my best friend Sin. He's from Lansing. He's from Flint, but he lives in Lansing.
Okay.
So yeah, he done showed me around Detroit. He showed me where the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater is. So I know where it is. So I'm like, oh, that's why he knew where Northland and all that was at. So I was like, oh, okay, this is where it is. Yeah, since we might have to make that trip because I need to see this.
Yep. Yeah, this will be announcing while y'all are still recording, but we're announcing it tomorrow, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this will be out afterwards. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that might have to be my summer big trip.
After you know who.
Oh yeah, well we going to Roots picnic, but I mean other than that.
Brian.
Oh yeah, we're gonna We'll take that when we hit stop.
Yeah, we'll tell you about it. We get on.
I forgot about that. I honestly did. But yes, thank you, Zoe. Always, we always love having you.
Yes,
you're one of our faves. I mean, you kicked us off. You was our second episode.
Yes.
Damn, that was number 2.
Yes.
Wow. I don't think I realized that. I thought it was like 3 or 4.
No, number 2.
No, you were 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because Keith Murphy was our first one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Word up.
Awesome.
Normally I was nervous coming on with that first one. I was nervous like a motherfucker. Like
for weeks he was.
Oh God, so Elise was about sick of my ass. Like I was like, yo, we really having Zoe. She was like, he's cool as hell. I was like, well, you met him. I didn't.
Right? Yeah. I ain't tripping. Trust me.
And then
but I was trying to let him understand like how chill of a person you were, so he didn't have to, you know. But John don't listen to me.
Nigga, I got bills and problems like everybody else.
Yes, but here we go. But I'm gonna go ahead and hang up the phone, and we thank everybody for watching, and share it with your folks. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we love y'all, and we'll catch y'all on the next Catch That. Peace.